So good evening again. So in the last class, we discussed about the thing is like what is the essential of skilling. So how the company hires actually, like what kind of skill, like master of all, jack of all or master of one, and how should we build a career, and why should we start focusing about skilling, and any skilling will start with the programming actually, and what all the essential things you should be doing to become a master in the programming. In that, like, we started discussing about Python programming language. We covered some extent, and we will be covering from where we left in the last class. So in last class, we covered about brief overview about the Python. What is the Python? Why we should learn the Python? What is the use? Almost like how it is different from other Python other language, and why it is more prominent nowadays, and who are one which companies are using Python in their company develop solutions. So all those things we discussed actually. Now in this class, we will be covering further from the point where we left. So when we said, like in the last class, somebody has some questions about uh, what is called a syntax error, or like what kind of syntax error will come action. So actually, like if you before we move on to that syntax error, so you should think about like what all the fundamentals of Pythons, like what Pythons provides actually as a programmers. So we discussed about the comments, how should we write a comments. So single quote, hash, uh, three quotes and the hash, single line comments, multi-line comments. We also discussed about indentations. We also discussed a little bit about what is called tokens actually. We discussed about what is called tokens. In the tokens, we discussed about what is meant by keywords and what is meant by identifiers. So for example, if you don't understood what is the tokens, like I said, no? So when we discussed in the how the program executes, so say for example, this is a program you are trying to you have written it actually, and this program is written in high level language. So then this program you should be able to execute in, you should be able to execute in a system. So system understands the machine level language. So somebody has to convert from high level language to the machine level language. So if somebody has to convert the high level language to machine level language, what we said actually, somebody has to understand what we have written. So how should you tell understand? So for example, we are writing statement by statement, multiple statements programs. So it will take one statement. Like for example, if you are writing in first statement, 5 is equal to a is equal to 5. So how it will do actually? So it will tokenize it actually. Tokenize means like it will separate, this is one element and this is another element, another token, this is another token. So what is this token initially? So we understood what is meant by identifier. So okay, is it right, correct identifier? Yes, identifier should be alphanumerical and it should not start with number and all those things. Like it obeys all those things. Okay, this is correct. Identifier is correct. Then what is the next actually? This is an operator. Operator. Okay, operators. What are the operators supported by the Python? Okay, equal is also one operator. Okay, this is also right. What is this actually? This is the value. So int value. So means like what I'm trying to say is actually like the compiler or interpreter will tokenize the statement by statement. So when it tokenize the statement by statement, you should try to find out what is this token looks like. So is it token is a keyword, or is a token is identifier? Is a token is a literals? I will cover that what is meant by literals later on. It is mean, is it token is about operators? Like I said, right now equal is an operator, or is it a token is a punctuator? Punctuator means like semicolon, colon, all those things. Like, so is it a punctuator? Is it punctuator? Because these are all valid tokens. What the Python program understands, like the compiler interpreter understands actually. So it's like first what, so it try to decipher each statement as statement in terms of multiple tokens. So why we should learn the tokens? We should know that like whether we are using right tokens or not. If you are not using right tokens, then you will get an error. So what kind of error? Syntax error actually, because I'm not able to understand what is this token looks like. So that is the reason I'm covering this, like what is meant by token. So in that, like we covered what is meant by keywords, what is meant by identifiers. Like I will cover what is meant by literals. Any questions so far here? So any questions? What is meant by tokens? How the tokens arrived, and what is meant by this Python fundamentals, what all the components like. So in that fundamentals, token is one component. And like, so now if you go to the next thing, so what is the identifier? Like we already know what is meant by identifier, correct? So again, the repetition, like I don't go in depth here. So identifier should start with letters and it should have alphanumerical and all those things. And what is meant is these are the examples of the identifier. Like, so first one is the identifier. Then the second is, so then what is the key result or keywords? Actually, that also we discussed. So the one thing which were not discussed in last class is actually literals. What is meant by literals actually? So when we are discussing the fundamental things, so we saw that like there is a variables. So there is a variables, and we also know what is there is also something called constants. Like if you see here actually, what are the Python fundamentals? So one is variable, another is a constant. So what is that variable and constant? Like, so this variable we have to assign some value, and constant also initially only once we should be assigning the value and we should not change. So for these variables and this constant, we should be assigning certain values. What is those values are? Those values are called literals. So that is called literals. Like, so different type of values for different type of literals. So if you see here actually, we have different literals. What is that literals? String literals means like string values. So if you see here actually Manasvi, F and 24, these are all string literals, string values. We should be assigning to the string variable, correct? We should be assigning these string values to the string variables. So if you see that actually something strings variables or literals can be in single quote or even double quotes. Like if you see that like Manasvi is in the double quote, F is in a single quote, both are okay. Python agrees both actually, like whether it is a single quote or either double quote. But string literals, like, so if it is string variable, you can assign the string literals. Okay. What is the other kind of literals? Numerical literals. What is numerical literals? Numerical literals may be of integer or float or a complex number. If you see that like the first one is the integer, second one is a float, then third was a complex number. So these are all values we should be allocating to the variable of the similar type, correct? So numerical literals we should be assigned to the numerical variables, correct? So that is another type. Then Boolean literals. What is a Boolean literals? Boolean literals is which will have two kind of variables. What is those kind of values? Two kind of values. What is those values? True and false. So true. So Boolean only takes two values, correct? So literal can have two literal values actually. One is a true. So true means like the value is right. Another is a false. So it is, if you see that actually, so these are keywords and they have specific things. Like, so you cannot say that like small letters. Like if you wanted to see that like whether the literals values are correct or not, like you can type here. So if you see here actually, if I say TRUE, so it is not able to understand that actually. See, it is not able to understand. If I say capital T, so now see color got changed. So these literals, like, so this you should be remembering. False FA. So these are the Boolean literals. Like Boolean literals means like Boolean values. So, and what is the other thing? Other thing is called something called a spatial literal. So what is a spatial literals? If you are from C background, you may be heard about null pointer. So what is that null pointer? Null pointer is actually, it is a pointer. It is not pointing to any address. So it is not even pointing to the zeroth address. It is not pointing to anything. So something that like it has a spatial meaning. Null, N-U-L-L has a some kind of a spatial meaning. So same thing in Python literals, the none, N-O-N-E is a one value which doesn't, it says actually it is nothing, no values actually. That is also spatial literals. So in Python, there is something called a spatial literals. The other than that, actually, there is something called a collection literals. Like collection literals means like I will cover actually, there is different type of data types. So set and list and all those things. So for each specific kind of those data types, there is literals are there. So what is the meaning of that? So whenever we divide into any the statement into number of tokens, so token can be identifier, token can be keywords, token can be literals. Literals means like values. So different type of data types has different literal values. So that you understood. So other than that, actually there is something called escape characters. So this is also something new thing. So this is there in other programming languages also. what is that escape character means? So escape character means like they are not see, there are two things are there, like any letter whatever you are typing, so any character that is ASCII values, correct? It has an ASCII value and it has specific meaning. So it has specific meaning. So means like A means A and B and all those things, correct? So when we say this backslash, so it is not an ASCII, okay, it is ASCII value, but it has a special purpose, some kind of information to the computer or like the interpreter compiler. So this what is that? This is a escape character. It has a special meaning. What is that meaning? It is there in the Python for single backslash. It is new line continuation. What is meant by new line continuation? So for example, if you are trying to write, actually as A is equal to B, if you are trying to write, so if you are trying to write something like A is equal to, so A is equal to B plus C plus D and all those things. But later on, you wanted to say one more thing. So instead of writing here, you wanted to write into the new line. So you can add something like that backslash and say plus C. So what it indicates actually, it is a continuation. So the next line is continuation of the same line. So something it is similar to like whenever you write an answers for one question. So you write in one paper and then finally in the below you say that like continued on that, like, so then means like this answer is continued in the next page. So something similar to that. So if you say backslash, so you are saying that like this whatever the expression or statement is continued into the next line. So this is a continuation to the new line. So what is that means actually, like you are trying to indicate the interpreter or compiler saying that like whatever is following next line also continuation of this actually means like this is same as something that like B plus C plus D plus E. So that is what you are trying to indicate, because sometimes you cannot fit everything in one single line. So each line has something like 80 character or maybe 100 character. So beyond that you cannot write. So if you wanted to continue beyond that, so then you can be using the backslash. So that is called special character. So I hope you understood what is meant by the backslash. So when we have a special character for backslash, but sometimes what happens actually, I need to print the backslash. So then what should we do? So we should be adding something in front of that backslash, one more backslash. Means like this is saying that like this is something special, and whatever is following that you should be considering as a character, not as a special character. So that is the indication. One is a new continuation of new line, and also you should consider that actually it has a special meaning. So these are some of the special characters provided by Python programming language. You should be using that. If you want to display single line, you should be backslash, you should be doing that. If you want to display the single quote, so you should be using backslash with single quote. If you want to display the double quote, backslash with the double quote. If you wanted to go back one backspace, actually, like these are the some of the escape character provided by Python. So any question here? Any question about keywords, literals, and escape characters? Any question here? Okay. The next thing what we are discussing is actually about built-in classes. So we here when we discuss about literals, we said actually different data types will have different literal values, correct? So what are those inbuilt data types provided by the Python programming languages? So inbuilt data types provide like inbuilt classes. You can say data types or you can say the classes provided because by the Python programming language. What is those classes actually? Bool is actually for Boolean values. Boolean values has two values, Boolean, correct? Integer of values of type integer. So float of type float. And I said about like some kind of a literal collections. Collection means like a set of numbers actually. Collection means like set of numbers. There are set of different data types with which are of array type, maybe collection of elements actually. They are provided by Python, and those are they are called list, tuple, string, set, frozen set, and dictionary. This I will be covering in third or fourth or fifth kind of sessions. But then I will be covering this actually what is meant by list and something. But I'm just mentioning here that these are called inbuilt classes or inbuilt data types supported by the Python. So what we so far understood is actually Boolean, int, and float. Float is actually decimal value. So it will have some decimal after decimal point, there are some values will be there. Like it is not a integer value, it is a decimal value, float actually. So these are the well-known Boolean, int and float is well-known. But apart from that, actually, like list, tuple, set, string, and all those things are actually collection kind of data types. Collection kind of data types means like they have multiple elements, not a one day. See, when we say collection and individual, so int, if I say the variable, when I say variable a is equal to, this variable can only hold one value. It can hold only one value, like 5. It cannot hold more values, correct? It cannot hold more than one values. So when I say collection data types means like, when I say collection data types means like they will hold more than one values. Please mute it. Please mute. Please mute. Okay. So they will hold more than one values. So there are some of the collection data types are supported by Python. They are called a list, tuple, string, set, frozen set, and a dictionary. So I will be covering in detail about them, like maybe in one-on sessions, like because they are very, very big one, we will be covering later on. So, but you just remember. So what we studied literals and type of the classes supported by. And there is one more thing here actually, like is something called,
sir?
Yeah.
And so can I ask something?
Yes.
Sir, there is Saturday and Sunday, so will there be class or holiday?
No, there won't be any class.
Okay.
So this is Monday to Friday.
Okay, so same link.
Yeah, same link.
Okay,
only thing is like tomorrow, Sanmesh sure will be covering because I'm traveling actually. Like Sanmesh sure will be covering. Other than tomorrow, like remaining all days, I will be covering.
Okay. Sir.
So same link, same time. So 6:30 to 7:30. Okay. So any questions? Anybody is not understood what is the literals? What is meant by built-in classes? Okay. The next thing is actually something called mutable and immutable. What is meant by mutable and immutable? So for example, I will tell first what is meant by mutable. Mutable means like any variable which I can edit values. Like for example, if I'm assigning value 5, then I can increment, I can change the value assigned to the variable. I'll assign 5, then I will assign 6. Then seems like that is called mutable. Mutable means changeable. I can change that actually. Immutable means like I cannot change. So now question will come actually like, why should we have immutable actually? So see, for example, if I wanted to explain that why should we have some kind of a immutable kind of variable is, take about that Amazon, you are trying to shop. So what is that actually when you are trying to do Amazon actually? In Amazon website, so there is something like a cart. So you will see this icon actually. Now what you will do, you will put one item in that cart, second item in that cart, and third item in cart, fourth item in the cart, like so. Almost like now it will keep on incrementing 4. So now what happens actually after that, like you will start paying for that. So when we are trying to start paying for that, actually it will show some number. And then if this variable where we are storing this all cart information is mutable thing, so what happens actually, somebody who can hack it can change. Means like by the time if you pay it actually, you may be thinking that like I have paid for these 4 items. Maybe somebody is hacker, maybe removed those items or change that items or replace with something, or maybe it may become 0, it may become 5, it may become 6, it may become 3, it may 2, anything. If it is a mutable, if it is a immutable, he can't change. So certain kind of applications, we should need certain kind of variables which are immutable, because if changing that will change. Like same thing about the transaction of money. It's like when you are trying to transact from one person to another person, you will mention 3,000 rupees you are sending. So when you say variable, this is 3,000, I am trying to transact. And if it is a mutable, before you transfer it actually, like next confirm time, so somebody can hack and change 3,000 to 3 lakhs also you can do, correct? So certain kind of places you should have a variable of type immutable. So because they cannot change, then only it will work fine. So that is the necessity for the application, and that is the reason like almost all programming language provide some kind of a mutable and immutable data types. I hope you understood what is the mutable and immutable data types. Any questions here? What is meant by mutable and immutable, and why we should have mutable and immutable? Okay. The next thing is actually, if you see here actually, like This is the data types like we already covered. So in the Python, there is a data types of mutable and there is a data types of immutable. Mutable data types are immutable data type number, string, tuples. Mutable data types are list, dictionary, and set. There are some mutables and they're mutable. So we'll discuss actually because I have not covered most of the things. Whenever I'm trying to cover the strings, tuples, list, dictionary, I will cover that. But right now I have covered about the numbers. I will discuss actually that is a little bit later. So now what I'm trying to say here is actually uh, two things. One is data types, which is mutable. So now what is why we are calling number as immutable. So let me show you why the number we are calling number as immutable. So for example, now I am trying to assign a is equal to 5. What is happening? So a is a variable which will point to an address in a memory location. If you know the C programming language, you know that like any variable will be allocated on memory location. In that memory location, we will be storing the value, correct? That you remember, correct? If you are comfortable with the C programming language, you know that like any variable will be pointing to an address memory location. In that memory location, we will be storing a variable. So now what is meant by mutable? If I say mutable, if it's mutable means like if I'm trying to do a is equal to a plus 1, means like I'm changing value. So initially it was 5, then I'm trying to make 6. So what happens in that same location, I will be removing this 5 and putting 6 here. If it is a mutable, if it is immutable means like I cannot change this value. I cannot change this value. So much like how this, so when Python we do that like a is equal to a plus 1 and everything will do. But what is happening actually? What is happening is actually this value will be a separate value and this a will point to another address, and in that address it will put 6. Means like what happens actually, there is one variable which has holding 5, there is another variable which is holding 6, but what happens actually, this a is now not pointing this 5 but a is pointing 6. Means like this a is different variable, but the name is same. So that is what is happening. Because if you wanted to see that like how it happens actually, so I will execute and explain you how this is happening. So let me show here. So are you able to see this one actually? My Jupyter Google Colab notebook. So now what I'm trying to do is actually a is equal to 5 I have decided. So now what is this ID? ID is actually a pre-built function which will give address of that variable. It's like, so in Python, so in C actually ampersand is 1 and star is 1, correct? So something that like ampersand and star used to use to get the value and the address of the variable, correct? So in this case actually they have something a word letter called ID. So if you ID and if you give the variable name, whatever the variable, it will say that like which address location that variable is stored, value of that variable is stored. So this is now what I'm trying to do here actually. I am saying that like a is equal to 5. So I allocated, then I'm trying to print which address location that a is pointing. Now what I'm trying to do the next actually, a is equal to a plus 1. Then I'm trying to check actually what is the address location that a is pointing. If you see here actually, if I execute this actually, if you see the first address location is different. See, if you see actually last two, the second address location is different. Means like numericals are immutable, but you are trying to add some number, but that is what you are trying to do. You are trying to create another variable, not the same variable, but the name is same, correct? That is what I'm trying to say. So if you wanted to access this 5 value, if you wanted to access that the location where exactly this 5 is stored, so you can also do that actually. Like what you can do is actually print ID of 5. So it will you will get it that address location where, see, if you see able to, means like that where value is stored in that address, still it is there. I'm not saying that like I'm not changed it actually. I hope you understood why the numericals are immutable. Any questions here? Anybody has not understood this? Anybody has not understood why I'm calling the numerical is immutable? Okay. So what we discussed actually, we discussed mutable and immutable. So so now another thing what is very well known about the Python is actually Python are loosely typed or something called dynamically typed. And the second point is actually declaration is not needed. And the third thing is like variable type is assigned, assignment is done dynamically. What is that means actually? So for example, if you already know the C, How should we allocate a variable? First, we should have a declaration. What is a declaration? In declaration, I am trying to specify what is the variable type. So usually in C, we used to say that like int a and semicolon. This is called a declaration. So this is called declaration. It's like I'm trying to declare. What I'm trying to declare? I'm trying to declare this variable is of type int. That is what I'm trying to declare, but I'm not assigning any value to this. So the next statement I will be doing a is equal to 5. So means like if I'm trying to do the a is equal to 5, now here I'm saying that like a definition, I'm also allocating the assigning the value to the essential. You can do in the same line, but means like declaration and definition in the same line also you can do, but there we need to have a declaration. Without declaration we cannot assign. In C programming language, without declaration we cannot assign. So but in Python programming language we can assign. We don't need declaration because Python program interpreter compiler is smart enough to understand the data type of the variable based on the value what you assigned dynamically. So if you wanted to see that, actually let me show that. Actually, so if you see this, are you able to see this screen? Okay, so now what I'm trying to, I'm not doing int is equal to a, directly I'm assigning a. So when I directly assigning a, I'm trying to print the value of a, and also type is another function. If you pass the value, so it will say that like what is the type of that variable. So now, so same thing, like the same variable I'm assigning another thing. So here I'm first case I'm not saying that like int is of a is of int. Second case also I'm not saying that like a is of type string. The third stage also I'm not saying that like a is of type list. List is a collection kind of thing, but automatically it understands what is the type of the variable. So there is no need to have a declaration. Directly you can assign, and directly Python program like the understands what is the type of that variable. So if you see, actually first time it says actually the variable is of type int. Second time the variable of type string. Or third time the variable of type list. List is a collection. I will discuss later on, but that is a reason when we say Python is of loosely typed language or dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed means like runtime, the type of the variable is decided. That is the reason we say dynamically typed language. Means like runtime, not at the sensor. So runtime. So declaration is not necessary, that we already explained. And variable, what type of variable, what value you are assigning, based on that like variable becomes of that type. So that is the what is called beautiful feature of a Python. So anybody has not understood, and that is the reason it is much more easier to read, write, and understand, like write a program using Python, because it doesn't need that so many strict kind of things like you have to declare and all those things, like automatically it can change. So in the same code, like so if you see that actually sometimes I made it int, sometimes I made it like, but automatically it will take. So that is it. But if you wanted to see that like all these are pointing the same address, no. If you still think that like all these are pointing, so no, they are all pointing the different addresses. So any question here? Anybody has not understood this concept? So data types and loosely type. Okay. Okay, built-in class numbers, like I said, no, in the numbers, what are the different type of numbers are there? We discussed about integer. We also discussed about float. We also discussed about complex number. What is a complex number? Complex number will have a real value and also imaginary value. Imaginary value is how you will be representing using letter J. If you see here, actually there is a letter J. So the first one is actually the real number, and plus that is the next is the number of imaginary type. So how I am representing that? Using letter J. So using letter J. So that is a complex number. Like numerical variables of type, 3 types. Like one is the integer, float, and a complex numbers. So I hope you understood that, because there is mathematical thing. Complex number you already studied in the 10th or 12th or something like that. So any question here? Any question not understood? So you can assign. So now we also discussed about mutable and immutable. So Boolean is of immutable, int is of immutable, float is also immutable, and tuple string is immutable, list and set are mutable. That this tuple string, list and set I will be discussing later on. But same thing. So you can check with the float, you can also check with the way I have explained using the integer, you can also verify with these two things also. And any question? Okay. The next one more thing, the difference between the C thing and then Python is actually Python considers everything as an object. So Python considers everything as an object. So what is the object? So in real world, everything is an object. So you are an object, or a dog is an object, car is an object. So anything like you can classify as an object. So what is that object means? Object will have certain things. What is that actually? Object will have few things. One is actually name or identity of object. So object will have identity of that object and some kind of a variables. Like so variables means like which describes about the object, and then certain kind of methods. Methods means like some kind of operations you can do on that object. So for example, car is an object. So what is the ID of that car? So where registration number may be the ID of that car. It's like you can identify that object using certain kind of ID. So now what is the type variables like car of Toyota, type manufacturer, who's the manufacturer of that car, when is it manufactured, the price of that. These are all variables. But what kind of methods we can say? Car started, stopped, got accident, travel. So those are like, so whenever we say that like object will have variables and also will have methods. So what I'm trying to say is actually Python always considers everything as an object. So that also you can think about here. Like so when I say here object, so this object will have an identity. So identity means like which is not changeable. You can't change that identity. So that is what the address locations where the subject are stored, or like some idea of that one actually. The second is actually type. So type is another thing. Like when we say that like variable is also an object, so a variable has a type actually. What is a type? Then it is also has a value. So what value it has stored. So if you wanted to see here actually in the let me show here actually. So whenever is it visible, correct? So when I say here, when I say A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, when I type ID will give what is the type of where exactly it is stored. The ID is address location. Type is type of that variable. And if I just print A, the value of that actually. So even then it is a variable, but it is an object. It has an ID, it has a type, it has a value. The other thing actually, when I said actually object also has a method. So let me show you that like in Python, the object also has a methods. Like, so let me go here. So now I have printed here. So like, for example, A is equal to 5. So now if you see here, let me do another one. So A dot, when I say dot, so I'm trying to get here a lot of things. So lot of things are means like on this A, I can do lot of operations. These are all methods actually. So now instead of that, like, okay, this is list it is showing. So I will try to say that like A is equal to 5. Now I am trying to do, so now I'm trying to execute A is equal to 5. Means like it becomes int. Even if it is an int, so when you say that like actually like A dot, so I will get lot of functions, like lot of functions I'm trying to get. So I can operate on that A. So this is a built-in functions. So now what is that actually bit length? Means like to hold the value, how many bits necessary for A. So bit length is actually how many bits necessary to hold that value. What is the value we are storing? We are storing 5. So how many bits is necessary? So it will automatically calculate, says that actually 3 bits are necessary. So how you know how you will be representing in binary 5? 5 is you are represented something like this. So how many bits necessary? 3 is necessary. So what is that actually? I'm operating. It's like that object has a method. So I'm using that method to understand. So the way said, no. So that is this is the difference, major difference between the other programming language and the Python. Python considers everything as an object. So since everything is an object, you can operate, you can have a function on that variable or like that function actually. So that is the difference. Anybody has not understood this actually? Objects in Python, anybody is not understood? Anybody has not understood object in Python? Okay. The next thing what I'm trying to cover here is, no, I'm trying to cover like, see what all the things we covered. So we covered, if you see here actually, we covered indentation, we covered comments, we covered variables, we covered some extent tokens, and I have not covered the constant and the variables. Like so, and in the tokens, we covered keywords, identifiers, literals. Operators will cover later, punctuators will cover later. So what is the next thing I'm trying to cover? I'm trying to cover variables and constants. So anyhow, some extent we covered variables and constant. So how should we declare the assign a value to the variables? How should we change the values of a variable? And can we assign multiple values to the variables? So these are the things we will be covering. So what is the thing actually? If I am trying to assign a value to the variable, so like something like a website, I'm trying to, this is, I'm not declaring anything. So no need to have a declaration, correct? So then this is a variable name. I'm assigning some string. So if I'm assigning values in terms of quotation, then I'm assigning a string literals. So string literal, string values I'm assigning to that. And I'm trying to print that actually. If you want to see that like as a type, you can say type of website, it will be a string type. So now what I'm trying to do, if I have to change it actually, I would be reassigning that one actually. It's like, but string is of mutable or immutable if you wanted to check actually. So what, how should we check? So if you type here the ID of this website, initial ID of this website, if you type ID of this website, and if you type ID of this website, if you wanted to check whether it is a mutable or immutable. So if you type here, so if it is both same, then it is mutable. If it is both not same, it is immutable. So what is that actually? First one is ID is different and second ID is different. 624, 696. Means like string also of immutable, not mutable. So, but I can change a variable thing, but that is immutable. So that you should be knowing. So changing the value of the variable and assigning multiple variables. Like, so if you see that the next line, what I'm trying to do, A comma B comma C. So there are three variables are there, is equal to 20, 80 and Pragyani, our company name. So what I'm trying to do, in one line only, I'm trying to assign multiple values. So how it will happen? 20 will be assigned to be A, 80 will be assigned to B, and so the order will be maintained. Whatever the order variables are there, whatever the orders values are there, order is automatically maintained. So if you see, wanted to see how it works, this is how it works actually. And if you wanted to assign the same value, if you wanted to assign the same value to all the variables, then how should we do? So x is equal to y, x is equal to y, x is equal to z is equal to some string. What is that actually? 3 years data science and AI program. That is our program. We used to cover this 3 years program for second year or first year students. To comprehensive program actually will cover for 3 students, which will cover like not only programming, data science, machine learning, deep learning, and all these things. This is a program name. So if you wanted to assign that all the variable, means like if you, even though if you have 3 programs, like I'm assuming what are the programs you are covering. So means like X, Y, Z. But if you wanted to assign everything with the same program name, I can assign. So what I'm trying to do, I'm equally. So now one more thing you should be noticing here. So how it will happen actually? Okay, assigning is done, but Python is a smart interpreter compiler. What happens actually? So for example, if I'm assigning A different value, B different value, C different value, what happens actually? Or even if I'm assigning same value in other programming language, what happens? So it will be like A will be pointing here, B will be pointing here, C will be pointing here, and that number will be duplicated. So 5 will be here, 5 will be here, and 5 will be here. But if you assign something like that, the interpreter compiler is so smart that what happens actually, like I will be storing in one location, in that location, I will be storing, and X, which is pointing here, Y also point here, Z also point here. Z also points here in the same address. If you wanted to see that, so what I'm trying to do, I have done that actually. And if you wanted to type that address where it is pointing, so you can execute that. So you see that like everything is pointing the same location, 520, 520, 520. So even though the 3 variables, I'm assigning this all the variables same value, but I can get that actually every value I can print that actually, but they're all pointing to the same memory address. That is a smartness. But when you change, then it will it will point to the new address. This is another smartness you can see in the Python programming. Any question here? So variable assignment, like so what we covered, declaring, assigning the variable, changing the variable, and assigning multiple values to the variable. So any question here? Okay. The next thing what we will be covering, is a constant. Like so if you see here actually like variable and constant. So what is meant by constant? So in other programming language, there may be something word called constant. When you say constant, whenever you are assigning a value to that, then you won't be changing that. So for example, If I say that, like, if I'm not saying a constant and the variable name, so a, and then I'm trying to say 5. So then this a value I cannot change. But you already know that, no, in Python that all numericals are immutable, so you can't change. But how should I say that, like, as a constant I cannot even change, because what it will point to another location. Even I don't want it to, it should point to the other location. How should I do that actually? In Python, what we will be doing, you should be creating one file, that is one file. So something like as a constant dot py. So what is a py? Py is the extension of the file. So something that, like, if we create a dot file, then a document file, the doc is the extension of the file. If you are trying to create C file, then dot C is the extension of that file. If you are trying to create a PPT, dot PPT is the extension of the file. For Python, any Python source file, there will be two extension. One is dot .py, another one, if you see here actually, dot .ipynb is another extension. So one is the dot .py, that is a standalone proper normal Python pro file. The another one is like ipynb, means like it has some special things. What is the special things? It not only have a code file, it will also have a lot more other things, like it will have, you can have a document, you can have a lot more things, but that I will be covering later on. But that is not the scope of it. If you wanted to more explore, actually I will be covering offline actually, because it needs a lot of understanding about why this is called ipynb. But Python supports two things. So why I'm trying to cover this actually? What I'm trying to say is, actually, if you wanted to create a constant variable, so you create a file dot py, and here you assign a variable, you some value. So pi has some value, and another something like lambda you are trying to say, the lambda is another, and then you are assigned to. So means like these two variables are assigned in some file. Then that can be imported in another function, another file, and you can access it actually. How should we do that actually? So main.py is another file. So you will be in that main py file, you should be accessing that. How should you access? You should be importing that file. So what is that file name? File name is constant.py, but you are not mentioning .py. So just you are saying import constant. So import constant, and then how you are accessing those variables? So constant.py, constant.lambda. So whatever you are defined. So these are constant values. You cannot change even also. You cannot even point this variable to another thing. So this is how the constant things, like, so constant definition possible in Python. So anybody understood or not understood, let me know. So I hope you understood what is a constant, correct? What is a variable? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next thing is actually Python type conversion and typecasting. So why we need type conversion and typecasting? So sometimes we need, okay, initially we made a variable of type A as integer, but later on some other times I wanted to convert into some other type. So that is necessary actually, because we need to convert it actually. Though there are two type of conversion is possible. One is implicit type conversion, another is explicit type of conversion. What is implicit and what is explicit? So for example, if I'm trying to explain, so assume that like A is integer, I'm assigning values 5, and B is a float. So I'm assigning value 4.5. So what I will do? So if I have to C is another variable, I'm trying to do A plus B. So what I'm trying to do, this is of type float, F, this is of type int. Now, what should be the type of this? So we are not, see, since we are not typecasting it, correct? So automatically it will take. But how the Python will take? So now what it will do, no? So whatever the, which is the highest one, which is the highest one? So float is the highest one compared to the int. Why I'm saying float is highest one? So if you wanted to convert float into integer, so you should be sacrificing. You have to approximate actually. So not real value is possible, correct? So if 4.5, I should be approximating as a 5. So we cannot store the float into the int. So your float takes more digit and also the different things. So what happens actually? Float will be remains float, and int will convert it into float. So since float plus float, value will also be float, and this C is defined as a float. So what is this actually? This conversion is done automatically. That is called implicit data conversion, data type conversion. So it's like I'm not forced anything, I'm not informed anything, automatically it does it actually. Sometimes some variables, variable types can be implicitly converted, but some variable types are not possible to convert. So if you wanted to see that like how things happens, so what I'm trying to show here, see when I'm trying to do where was it actually? Okay, so now in this case, int I'm trying to assign the numerical, and float I'm assigning this one, and then I try to do this actually, then I'm trying to get one is int, see first is of int, second is of float, and the new value also is a float. But you may say that like automatically everything is happens. No, sometimes it doesn't happen. So if you say that like no, first one is int, second one is a string. Why it is string? Even though if it is a number, it is string. Why it is string? Because it is within the quotes. It is within the quotes. So this is the string. So now you try to do the same thing. So it will give an error. Because why it should give error? It doesn't know that like how to convert a string to int or int to string, and it doesn't know that like which one to convert. So string to int or int to string, it doesn't know that. So sometimes you have to forcefully explicitly convert it. How should we do that actually? To convert that, you should be specifying. So for example, whatever the expression, like so whatever the expression or variable you are trying to convert, like so for example, this expression you wanted to convert from this, maybe originally it may be of int, I wanted to convert into float, then I should be mentioning so float. So which type I should be converting first, and within the bracket which one you wanted to convert. So that is a syntax of the explicit type conversion. So how should I do here? So I see which one I wanted to convert. So this string is of int only. So I'm trying to convert this string into int, and then I'm trying to add. So what happens actually this time, same code doesn't give an error. And if you see that like actually what is the data type of the next one, because first is also int, second also, even though it is string, but I have typecasted into int. So both are int means like output also we have type int, variable of all stuff int. So this is called explicit type casting. So you can do any if anybody has any question, type conversion, implicit and explicit. Okay. The next thing I will be covering is actually what is meant by Python input. What can how should we read input in Python? Output, and somehow we did actually, like we know Python, but how should, what all other printing the value provided by Python, and also function import. Some extent we already know what is the import thing, but we'll cover that. So any questions so far? If you don't have any question, then I will move to input, output, and import. Do you have any questions? Okay. So what I will be discussing is actually input, output, and import. So first we'll discuss with the output. So how should we output a value? So there was a print was a function. So how should we do? Print a, then this is a variable, I'm printing that value. If it is another variable, a comma b. If it is another variable, another thing. So that is one thing we know. Another one is actually print within the quotes. So a single quote or double quote, and then I'm trying to say print this value, means like whatever the string I'm trying to do. If you wanted to have string plus variable, then comma b. This and this is same. So say because this is another variable of type string. So comma is separation between two variables. So this is of variable string, but instead of assigning into variable and then printing variable, I'm directly putting the value there itself. So that is the only difference, but both are same. So if you wanted to see that actually, so I'm trying to print. So if you say that like this, the value of a is also another variable, but only thing is like I'm not putting into another variable and printing that variable, I'm directly putting that. So it will print, it will work actually. The comma is separation between two variables. If number of variables are more, you can separate by comma, comma, comma. So now, but by how they are separated, so whatever the value, see whatever the value I'm trying to type, one variable values are printed and second variable. The difference between the like how they will be separated, by default there will be space will be provided. So it's like one variable, another variable, whatever you are trying to say print, like so for example you are trying to say a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 6, and you are trying to print both, then 5 will be printed, then there will be space, and then the 6 will be printed. That is by default. But if you don't want default space, you wanted to specify how they should be separated. So then Python also provides a keyword saying that in the print something called a separate. So separate is equal to SEP separate. SEP is the first three letters of a separate, separation. So separate, SEP separate. No? So it is, since that is the reason Python is very easy to learn. So keywords also very easy to interpret. SEP is a separate. So how should I separate? Is equal to star. Means like when I say separate is equal to start, means like, see, initially if you see that like directly 1 2 3 is printed like with the space. So second time I'm saying separate is equal to star, then 1, then star, 2, the next value, then star. So star is used to separate two different variables. So how they are separated? So in between there is no space, but there is a star. So apart from that, like you also want to say that like how we should end. So how should end actually, like I can also specify how should end. Why it is necessary? Sometimes what happens now, if this is for numbers, it is not necessary. But sometimes what you are trying to do, you are trying to print a string. So for example, if you are trying to string something that like hello, hello, the name something that like Satish, something that like how are you? So then how are you? So something that like how are you? Then so it doesn't look nice, no. So it should be looks nice actually if it is ended with question mark. So then you can say that like end with this question mark. So now it looks like actually hello. Then you can have comma here. Satish, how are you? Something like now it looks like. So sometimes you need to beautify the output to give a better meaning, better look and feel or readability. So that time you should also specify what is the end. I should end with. So what should be separate with, what should end with. So this is a facility provided by Python. So you can use it like so depending on how you wanted to display the output. I hope you understood. Any question here? Okay. So sometimes what happens actually, like I don't want this way. I also wanted something better way of printing. So what is a better way of printing? Other way I think. So the value of X here I wanted to print the value of X, and value of Y is here I want to print the value of Y. So instead of just common, so 5 and 10, so I don't know that like what is the like. So when I'm not doing that like, so there is A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 10. So now if I print output A comma B, then what I will be getting? So I will be getting 5 comma 10. So what is this 5 comma 10? I don't understand. That time you may be knowing it, but like just if you know the output, you don't understand. Instead of that, like if I wanted to say that like value of A is and value of B is, and then find that one, if I wanted like that actually, how should I do that? So there is a facility is there, like how should we do? So the print the value of X, and wherever you wanted to print that thing, you should write a bracket. So starting bracket, closing bracket, and Y is starting bracket and closing bracket, and this is ends in the string. So this ends in the string. Then if you see that like here there is no comma, here there is a dot format, means like I'm trying to say you are formatting the output, dot format, and what I'm trying to say X comma Y. X comma Y means like where you have to put X, where you have to put. By default, like if I'm not saying anything, so this X is 0, Y is 1. So wherever this is by default, it is 0, this is 1. Automatically it counts from left to right. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep on counting. So how many brackets are there? So like first bracket is 0, second bracket is 1, third, so something like that. So first variable is 0, second variable is 1, or something like that, like automatically. So when you say format dot in bracket X comma Y, so X will be printed. So this is how you will get output. But sometimes is that like I do whatever the order I write, but whatever the order I should be printing, I should be defining. So instead of by default thing, you should be in the bracket, you should be specifying where you should put 0th value variable and where you should be printing 1th variable. So what is a 0 variable? This is 0th variable, this is 1 variable. So it starts from left to right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, keep counting. So what happens? So 0 variable I should be printing here. Value of the 0 variable I will be printing here. Value of 1 I will be printing in 1. Wherever in bracket I'm mentioning 1, I should be printing value of 0th or 1th variable, whatever number I'm saying. So what is the advantage here? So instead of changing the order here, I can dynamically whatever the order it will be, but I'm keep on playing with the numbers where I should mention 0 and 1 on the 6. This is also possible. But sometimes what happens now? 0, 1 on 2, 3, 3 is very difficult to know what is the variable or what is that. So you wanted to give a name for that actually. That is also possible. What should you do? in that first one, instead of 0, 1, you should be mentioning the name. That is a variable name you should be using, and that you should be assigning for specific date. So one is the name, another is a greeting, another is a company. It's like these are the three variable names. So how should I mention, what should mention print in the name bracket? So I'm saying that like name is equal to Shiva. Shiva should be printed wherever there is a name is there. And greeting is equal to good morning. Wherever there is a greeting is there, you should print the good morning. And wherever the company is there, Pragyan AI you should be printing. So how should it looks like? So if you print that one, so hello Shiva, good morning from Pragyan AI. It's like now it looks like much more better way of printing it actually. This is all provided by. So if you wanted to do, one is the numerical automatically assigns, but you don't want that kind of numerical things. You wanted to tag that with some certain kind of names, then you can use this one method. So these are the different facilities provided by Python programming language to beautifully print the output. So beautifully print the output. Any question here? Okay. The next thing is actually the next thing. Okay, about the string I have discussed, but if you wanted to print something like a variable and say that like I want to only point 2 decimal point or 3 decimal point the way we used to do in the C programming, so that still is possible. Percentage and whatever 3.2, 3 means like before decimal point how many digits you should be printing, dot and 2 or 3 how after decimal points how much should be printing, and F is means float. F means a float, so same thing as in C. So there also F means float, here also F means float. So you can say, so then how should we do that? You are trying to specify, and which variable? Percentage X. So which variable you should be considering for that? So that percentage X means like X is a variable of type F, that is float, and I wanted to print not entire value, but I wanted to print before decimal 3 values, 3 digits, after decimal only 2 digits. So this is how I can restrict actually. So this is how I can print. So this is all about output. So another thing is like how should we import a variable? How should we read from the keyboard? So Python provides some variable keywords called input. So when I say input, so it's like I will be reading from the user. So what I'm trying to do, when I say num is equal to input, enter the number. So this will be printed here and it will wait for you to enter a variable. So this is a bracket if you are trying to say, and if I'm trying to write 5 here and I have to enter here. So then I'm entering from user keyboard value to the program. So program that num get that value whatever I have written and it will print. By default, whatever you are trying to type here, everything it will consider as a string. So if you see here actually how this num has taken, even though 5 is an integer, I know it actually, but the program, the num is considered as a string. So because it is printed in a quotes, and if you see the type is also string. But if you wanted to consider this as an integer, so you should be typecasting. So how you are typecasting? I said no explicit typecasting, int comma that value. So I am typecasting it, and now if you see here actually, so the same value of I'm trying, so the way it is printed, the integer value. So see if there is a difference between how the string is printed and how the integer value is printed. And if you see the type, it is type. So this is how you can give the input to the program. So you can use that the input, and you also know how to print the output. The another thing is actually import. So I said no, import is used to call the libraries, different libraries or something somewhere else actually. So you will be using that import for that file, library, and then you can call the functions or methods of that library. So math is some kind of a library, so you can call. So if you wanted to import this library, so import math is the library. I'm trying to call that library, and from that math there is one constant variable. So the way I explained earlier, no, dot py is pi is a constant value. So you wanted to print the value of that constant math dot pi. So you can print it actually. So you don't know that like where should I, like if you wanted to create your own library, you should know that like where exactly that library has to be put, correct? So you don't know that like which are the paths are well defined, where exactly the Python program looks for those libraries. So if you don't know, there is one more library called sys, means like system libraries. All system defined functions are there in that library. Just like math libraries, all mathematical functions are there, like mathematical vector multiplication, all those things, like all mathematical things are there in math library. System is like all system things. So what is I'm trying to do? I'm importing system library, and now I want to system.path. Means like what are the path mentioned there? Means like what is a well-known path? Means like computer knows all those paths. So means like if you are anything you are trying to search, even in the library you are trying to search, it will try to search whether that library is placed in all those paths mentioned, which system understands. Like, so what are the system known paths are there? These are the system known paths. It's like slash dot environment. This, since it is a Linux system, whatever I'm accessing in the cloud, correct? So Google Colab has by default Linux operating system. So these paths are all Linux operating system paths. So slash environment Python slash user Python. So this is where, so if you wanted to put a library, you can put in that library in that location, then only you can import, because system only knows about those paths. So if you wanted to put in some other location, then it won't able to access that. So that you should be remembering. So there are so many libraries are there. So I'm just wanted to explain one or two. So all other things are same. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm done actually. Today's I'm done. So we'll be having one small quiz. If you have any questions, let me know, or else like we'll be having a quiz. Any questions? Are you able to follow me? I see completely silence. Are you following or not following? There are only two times you will see silence. One is completely following or not at all following. Are you following me? Whatever I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay then. So I think Sangmesh will post the link for quiz, so you can start attending the quiz. And I said no. So next tomorrow, the Sangmesh one will be taking the class, and all these recorded videos will be available at Pragyan AI. So I said no, Pragyan AI video channels. You will be like, if you wanted to refresh and revisit and understand, actually we'll be putting there. The only thing is you have to subscribe that to get that access to those videos. This free. There's nothing is charged actually. So over to Sangmesh. You can start. Unsharing, so you can share the quiz thing.
Yeah, I shared the link.
Okay.
Student need to.
You share that actually. You share.
Yeah,
your
I shared into the
Chat
chat box.
So you share your screen also.
Okay.